she was at 14, 15, and she was successful. But this Valentine changes. I think it becomes part of the world. Now she's a conscious person who it has not just changed herself, but she will change the world. Even though making shoes, it doesn't matter what it is. She's confident and she's going the world and change for the better.
Wow. Because I know what the sequel is. I'm just thinking about how that...
Anyway, we are just towards the end, and I'd like to maybe ask one more question. We're talking about the female character. Sense of identity. Most of your books are on identity.
As I was doing that, as much fun as it was, what I do when I sit down to write, no matter what the assignment is or the job I've been hired to do, it's, what am I trying to say? What am I trying to say? And I say that to myself all the time. Now, when I'm struggling, I go, what is it I'm trying to say? And I was trained by a woman named Ruth Getz, who, for free, used to have me come to her apartment. Very famous playwright, wrote The Heiress with her husband Augustus Getz. The Heiress, based on Washington Square by Henry James, is the movie with Olivia de Havilland. She won the Oscar for it, okay? So this woman was in her 70s when I was 20. And she used to have me over, and she would teach me the mechanics about how you did a story. I still wasn't getting it. I wasn't getting it. It really took me until I made the documentary Queens of the Big Time, which has the same title, about my father's hometown. My grandfather was an amateur filmmaker on the side of being a machinist in a factory. And in working in Hollywood, and then coming back to New York and taking his films, he had these canisters, and I took them in to do art, and there were still a lot of old Italian craftsmen who did restoration film. And they began to look at the stuff, and they'd run it, and we'd see what we could salvage and save that wasn't environmentally, like, hurt by the way it was stored. And they were saying to me, your grandfather, man, your grandfather, he had the eye. He would have been a great cinematographer. And as I began to dissect frame by frame his 16mm films, I went, I didn't just come hatched out of an egg here. I'm pulling from this ribbon, always this ribbon of people. I mean, Vito, honestly, it's all about that for me. Why do I know that? Well, I don't know that because I'm such a genius. It's in me, and there's something to that. And by the way, this sheds incredible light for anybody who struggles with identity. Because really, at the end of it, your only choice is to really, really be who you are. Because then you can't get to the authentic, we call it the pith when we're writing, the P-I-T-H. What is that? What are you trying to, you know, it's that part of the orange, where that white part that's on the inside of the skin. You're trying to get to that. What? So you pay me a huge compliment by telling me that I'm growing. I'm getting more. I think as I go on, I'm getting more interested in identity, not less. I'm not going to some generic middle ground.